Thousands of British tourists hitting the Alpine slopes during their midterm holidays will have missed something. There are far fewer British ski and snowboard instructors available this year. Trainers from Great Britain have found it much more difficult to work in the Alps since Brexit because the mutual recognition of their professional qualifications was excluded from the trade agreement signed between Great Britain and Brussels at the end of 2020. This has created serious obstacles for Brits wanting to work as ski instructors at ski resorts in Italy, France, Austria, and even Switzerland as they reopened for foreign tourists this winter after a 2-year hiatus due to the pandemic. Andy McIntosh is Snowport's training manager at Interski, a tour operator with almost 40 years of experience in the Aosta Valley in northwest Italy. His application for a work permit was recently rejected by the Italian authorities. My job requires me to be in the UK for 7 months and in Italy for 5 months given instructor training, he said. And I'm now in a position where I can't work in Italy. This is very frustrating and also very sad for me personally and for the entire profession. While Interski recently booked its first UK school ski trip since March 2020, McIntosh said the Brexit disruption meant that most customer lessons were booked with Italian schools rather than their own UK teachers, although many outfits were short of capacity. We were the largest UK ski school in the Alps, employing up to 400 UK ski instructors per season and covering 1,200 weeks of instruction, said McIntosh, who has been teaching skiing in France and Italy for 17 years and holds the highest UK ski instructor license available, the BASI Level 4 diploma. We have many clients and many British ski instructors who want to work, but due to Brexit, it's now impossible to hire the British ski instructors that our clients would like, he added. The current situation is of no use to anyone. Well, but only one side picked that, I have to say. And Tom Cloak, interim chief executive of the British Association of Snowsport Instructors, said that with the UK being outside the EU, local employers would have to deal with additional red tape to hire British nationals. Rightly so, I say. The Brexit disruption has set back British winter sports by several decades, he added. The country's performance at the Beijing Winter Olympics has been criticized by the sports community as its worst in decades. And Robert Greatback worked as a British ski instructor in Italy before the pandemic, but his dream of working in the popular French ski resort of Tignes was dashed this year after his work permit application was rejected. I've always wanted to work in Tignes, he said. After leaving the EU, my British degree will not be recognized in France. The recognition procedure will not be formalized until the summer. Instead, Greatback managed to qualify for a job at a Swiss ski school, which allows him to work 90 days a year in Zermatt, near the Italian border. He qualified to work in Zermatt under an agreement that ended on the eve of Brexit between the UK and Switzerland to allow UK service providers access to the Swiss market. I'm fortunate to be able to work in Switzerland because I'm self-employed, he said. I have a lot of friends and colleagues who can't use that because they don't qualify for certain pieces of legislation. Despite not being in the EU, Switzerland is more likely to issue work permits to EU citizens, and British nationals now find themselves among other nationalities competing for jobs there. Ben Woodhead, a prospective ski instructor in Méribel in France, has seen firsthand how Brexit has made it harder for British qualifications to be recognized. He says, "You can't really just rock out and find work like you used to or move between countries," Woodhead said. "Everything has to be applied for and approved before the season starts." Yeah, I say welcome to Brexit, Mr. Woodhead. Woodhead is aiming to achieve France's top-level Eurotest qualification, but he said authorities were discussing taking their off-piste test in French only, making it more difficult for British citizens who are not fluent in the language. Well, ultimately, it will also discourage most Britons from becoming instructors at all, he says. But I think, yeah, of course you have to do it in the language of the country. I had to do everything in English in England. Even if British citizens had EU residency, it allowed them to work in just one country, Cloak said, which can be restrictive at resorts that cross national borders because they don't follow the snow and don't move from valley to valley. Well, valleys can adapt to the weather conditions, but the customers, well, they need snow. But seriously, guys, Brexit means Brexit. Welcome to reality. And I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.